promise you won't fall in me. Let on my heart, I let you run through all my arteries. Face card art to me, so we ain't hiding now. I want you where they all can see. 'Cause that thing she got, make a nigga go crazy, turn his brain around. I'm like, whoa, I'm on with the wild. Hit me with it once, I had to meet her at the aisle. I propose a toast, pop a couple bottles, sing my little song, shorty like a model. So, tell me this, is you ready to rock? In this life is center, we Bonnie and Clyde. 'Cause I ride for my bitch, die for my bitch. She rockin' those hips, I hate to see you go. Time, promise girl you'll be fine. Getting you is a chess play, baby. I mean this in the best way. Girl, I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave. Like the sunshine, girl, you go. Let's get to the birds and bees. I want you to stay with me. Girl, I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave. Girl, I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave. Like the sunshine, girl, you glow. Let's get to the birds and bees. I want you to stay with me. She done domesticated the dog in me. Summer's over, baby, come and spend the fall with me. If I open up, just promise you won't fall in me. Let on my heart, I let you run through all my arteries. Face card art to me, so we ain't hiding now. I want you where they all can see. 'Cause that thing she got, make a nigga go crazy, turn his brain around. I'm like, whoa, I'm on with the wild. Hit me with it once, I had to meet her at the aisle. I propose a toast, pop a couple bottles, sing my little song, shorty like a model. So, tell me this, is you ready to rock? In this life is center, we Bonnie and Clyde. 'Cause I ride for my bitch, die for my bitch. She rockin' those hips, I'm rockin'.
Say you want me to stay, boy, but you got a little more tending to do. Being with a baddie takes some getting used to. No, I'm not the usual, so baby, I won't be too critical. Still, you need to know I'm not the one to fumble. I give you graces, gotta keep you on your toes. Do you show me you notice how I'm glowing like the sun? Put that shit on. See the look on your face, that looks my favorite, yeah. So don't be stupid, don't be too cool. Come make your move, won't let you lose. I'ma come through, 'cause I know you. Now you hate to see me go, but I love to watch you leave. Like the sunshine, girl, you glow. Let's get to the birds and bees. I want you to stay with me.
I walk so fine, sway left and right, hips and backside, stay on my mind. You have my attention, attend from every angle, every direction. And we may fight just a little, but it just adds on to the feeling. We make love, it helps with the healing. Then we fuck, the cycles repeated. We both can't get away, can't run away. Unconditional bond. If they ask who we are to each other, then we'll pay them no mind. I promise you'll get the best of me. But his text go green. He might crash out if you leave with me. But baby,
Good, good.
hate to see
Yep.
you go.
Ready to get nerdy? Yeah, you ready to get nerdy?
To watch you leave.
You wanna read? You wanna read a little bit? Yeah, with your smart doggy? Wanna get all the knowledge? Alright? Yeah. With your smart doggy? Yeah? Are you the smartest musician? Yeah. Why are you not receiving? Pourquoi not receiving?
Baby, why you lying? Letting them play with your heart, come get you a man. Treat that body like it's all you a masterpiece. I know you ain't happy, girl. Don't you dare get mad at me. I just wanna get. Kauai kawai, vai olohia, o kahua loa. Kokohi kawai, puhia.
All right, yo, what's good, gamers? What's good? My name is Dr. Ryan Terrell, Psych Sensei, and welcome to the stream, baby. Today, I'm hosting another reading with Ryan, and we're going to be talking about emotions, tilt, how it affects you in game, all those kinds of things. And as always, does this matter to you? But if you want to learn more about me and what I do, please visit my website, psychsensei.com. There, you can get all the resources, links to my TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of it there on my website, psychsensei.com. And I try to, drop some new content every day, 4 times a day. I got a nice little comedy sandwich going on all those sites. So if you go join my LinkedIn, you'll see just the informational stuff. If you go to TikTok, you'll see everything. If you go to my Twitter, you'll find other stuff. But all those things you can be found on my website, psychsensei.com. All right, well, I'm super stoked to jump into the reading thing. And also, I went to the store earlier this week, and I heard Hawaiian music, like literal Hawaiian music at this Japanese store. I'm like, dude, I need more of this in my life. So, enjoy, Mr. Kaylee Reichel. But I might have to change it, because not gonna lie, sometimes when I listen to Hawaiian music, I start singing the words, and that's not what I need to be doing. So, if I start getting distracted by the Hawaiian music, I will change it. But for now, wee! Okay. Tonight's article is called Playing for Keeps or Just Playing with Emotion, Studying Tilt and Emotion Regulation in Video Games. This is by Cregan, Toth, and Campbell. And this was done in 2024. Recent article. Let's freaking go. Where is this at? Limerick, Ireland. Let's go. So if you can imagine this whole entire article with an Irish accent, be sure to do so. That would be appropriate. All right. Introduction. Video games are a highly popular activity with an estimate over 2.6 billion gamers worldwide. Esports, which incorporates video games that are played competitively and professionally, have grown rapidly in popularity, in line with large prize pools for esports competitions and viewer surpassing that of large sporting events such as National Baseball Association finals. Really? Yes, baseball. Not that cool. There has been an increased demand to better understand the health implications of esports and video games. Researchers have predominantly been concerned with debating the benefit and disadvantages of video games. True. For some reason, everyone still wants to believe that video games causes school shooters, but sometimes guns do that too. Research are increasingly recognize the potential video games can provide cognitive, social, and health benefits. In relation to cognitive benefits, studies have shown that action video gamers demonstrate superior attentional control, task switching, informational processing, and working memory abilities. When they say task switching, they're basically talking about multitasking. There's no such thing as multitasking. You're just task switching. You're just stopping one task and going to the next. while maintaining that all in your working slash short-term memory, and all that takes energy. Another goal of mine is to keep the shirt white. I notoriously don't wear white shirts because I spill on them all the time. So if I can keep the shirt white for a day, I would consider that a dub, baby. I would consider that a dub. Okay. Video games have also been shown to positively affect psychological well-being, induce positive emotions, and mitigate symptoms of depression and anxiety. I don't feel so bad when I play my games. True. And improved emotional regulation. Not always, but sure. Okay, I think this is the thing. I think these are all benefits of video games if you actually use your video game for this reason. Like, for example, like, sure, you will get better at your video games if you do the attentional control, switching, info processing, working memory abilities, positive emotions, and psychological well-being. It can, if you use video games to do all this stuff. And yes, for example, if you practice your game, you'll get better at these things, and you'll develop these skills. But if you intentionally say, like, okay, I'm going to work on all these things. For example, superior attentional control and task switching could be like, okay, I'm going to focus at looking at the mini-map this game, and then you practice switching your attention from big field of vision, mini-map, macro field of vision. So I think if you're able to do that, again, you're going to practice the task switching, info processing, and attentional control. You'll probably win more games because you're getting better at these skills, not because you're getting, well, again, you're getting better at these skills, and you're getting better at the game, thus you're climbing. So yes, your video game can do all these things if you use it to do so. You know what I mean? Video games also play a role in digital therapies, with specifically designed video games or designed games generally aiding in the diagnosis and symptom reduction of disorders such as ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and improving both reading abilities and visual auditory attention shifting in children with dyslexia. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, this paragraph here is, the tagline is, video games equals good if intentionally used for, baby all caps. Like, they are good if you use them for good and you set your intention of what you want to get out of this activity. Video games are bad, or definitely become more bad, when people do not use them intentionally. They use them as a way to escape. They use them as a way of coping. Like, that's when I think video games get a little bit dangerous. But if you want to use video games to socialize, to connect, to develop some mental skills, to talk with your friends, you know, to improve emotional regulation, that's great. So, I mean, I guess that re-emphasizes that video games are a tool, and it really depends, the goodness or badness, say, of this tool just depends on how you use said tool. Okay, digital therapies. I myself have seen that there's a game for ADHD, like, you play this game to decrease your ADHD. I myself has never played it. I think that's pretty cool, but I've seen that. I mean, improved reading abilities, yeah. Attentional shifting, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you played Math Blaster as a kid, or those reading games as a kid, then yeah, you definitely know that video games, gamifying learning definitely works, you know? All right, the recognition of social benefits of video games extends to research demonstrating that multiplayer and augmented reality can reduce loneliness and mitigate stress, depression, and anxiety. I mean, what was that game during the pandemic? Animal Crossing? Damn. All right, turning to the Purported negative effects of video games. Okay, so now we're going to talk to negative effects of video games. Researchers have debated the association between violent video games and aggression, an area of literature which much disagreement. Examined frustration and video games, acknowledging that competition in video games can be rewarding and enjoyable, but also potentially a source of frustration when attempts to reach a goal are blocked. I mean, as of anything, right? I would say that's the same thing as getting bad grades. If you want good grades and your grades aren't good, then you get frustrated that your grades aren't good, you know? But, I mean, I think another thing about this is, I mean, the thing that this made me think about, aggression, right? Violent video games and aggression. The other thought I had was, okay, have you also seen that intervention where you put bullies into, like, karate or karate or like jujitsu or boxing for them to like learn how to control their anger or learn how to like mediate their anger with a coach and a group of students that can help this student or this person curve, understand, deal with, mediate their anger and aggression. But why would you put somebody in an environment that teaches them violence to help curb their anger and aggression? Well, that is an appropriate environment for them to learn how to control their emotions. It's a controlled environment with an adult, with other people that like shape your behavior. Wouldn't it kind of be the same? I mean, in the future, I hope that like, if you want your kid to learn how to play video games or like not tilt or like be better regulated in their emotions, wouldn't it be kind of cool like if you could put them into like, I don't know, AYSO soccer for like video games? Or like Little League of Legends, you know what I mean? To teach them how to play or be in a controlled environment with a coach and other players that like can help shape that behavior, just like a freaking dojo. I mean, it'd be awesome, but I mean, I think so many people are so afraid of this like aggression in video games, or maybe they don't want to talk about video games, that it puts it in a weird space where you can't teach people how to play well, you know? All right. Suggest that players can become frustrated if the challenge of the game is overly difficult and exceeds the player's skill level, potentially rage quitting the game due to intense negative emotions, highlighting why game designers attempt to make games incrementally more challenging and skill match players. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it works though, right? Like, I think the other thing too is it's really interesting to see what players do when they reach their ceiling. Oops. Like, what I mean by that is like, did that just take me to that website? Did that take me to the article? Did I just learn something right now? Oh no, I was like, wow, this thing is actually taking me to like crazy. Okay. Like, that's kind of like taking like a 6th grader and putting them in high school and watching them freak out. You know, even learning is skilled and step laddered. So why wouldn't games be? And yeah, if you put someone that's really low skilled or low leveled, of course they're rage quit, be upset. I would be. Researchers have also focused on problematic and excessive video game engagement. I mean, I think that's the biggest things, right? People are worried about people becoming violent. People are worried about overplaying. People are worried about like becoming addicted to video games. Like, these are all great like concerns. This excessive engagement has been labeled as internet gaming disorder. IGD has been officially recognized by the APA, crazy, and is recognized or characterized by impaired control over gaming habits, gaming taking priority over daily activities, and continued engagement in gaming despite negative consequences. So again, this is they're borrowing addiction language to describe this. The lack of control, gaming, despite the consequences, I think is like the hallmark of problematic gaming, which, like substance use, is the hallmark of any substance use disorder, is the pull to use it, or the pull even though like it's detrimental. In people diagnosed with internet gaming disorder, some researchers have found that internet gaming disorder can to be linked to poor psychological well-being. I mean, yeah. Isn't that what this said? That video games can actually give you happiness. So if you don't have happiness, you're probably using games to try to increase said happiness. Again, it's not the behavior, it's the function of the behavior. Examining internet. Okay. Generalized anxiety. Interesting. Generalized anxiety disorder. And reduce academic achievement. Yeah, because you're doing games. I get that. Examine internet gaming disorder and emotion regulation. Okay, emotion regulation relates to the process in which we influence, experience, and express the emotions we have. Yes. Oh, sorry. We have found. Well, that's more than one sentence. We have found the individuals with internet gaming disorders to be likely to engage in emotional suppression. Interesting. And less likely to engage in cognitive reappraisal. Cognitive reappraisal is your ability to see something from a different perspective. All right. My question is, I mean, the interesting thing about this, like emotional suppression, okay. My thought is this emotional suppression learned? As in, like, I need to be a man and win my games, so I can't show my, like, sadness or hurt, so I'm just gonna be angry. You know what I mean? Or is it like, I don't know how to appropriately express my emotions, and thus they're just gonna come out of me in any which way? You know what I mean? And yes, I believe that it's both, you know? But I really wonder how much of the lack of emotional expression, this is mostly men, are due to, you know, the manly men must play video games, you know? The ability to regulate our emotions effectively is important for psychological well-being, social relationships, social functioning, and physical health. I mean, yeah. And here's the stupidest part, right? Like, the emotional ability to regulate emotions. Sure, you could say stoicism is a way to, like, regulate your emotions, but at the same time, it also, I guess that's like regulation via denial of said emotions. You know, I think if you really want to regulate your emotions, it does take a lot of work. You know, I wish like regulating your emotions was super chill and super easy, but like it takes you a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort to regulate them because A, you have to know what they are. B, you have to know what they're coming from. C, you have to understand what they're trying to make you do. And D, you have to intentionally do something else with them. Because your emotions and what you want to do, your emotions and your goals are not always linked together. You know, so you actively have to not switch your emotions, but experience your emotions and still be able to do a behavior that may not be congruent to that be emotion. For example, you may be sad, or you may be super hurt, but that doesn't mean that you can stop. Do what you do. Maybe you're angry and you're hurt or whatever, that you didn't accomplish it. But if you stop, you're gonna be more angry and hurt. So you have to keep going. You know that paradoxical thing? Strategies to regulate emotion research have been broadly characterized as either adaptive or maladaptive. Oh, that's so funny. This helps your emotions. This doesn't help the emotions. All right, so they say maladaptive emotion regulation relates to the inability to flexibly respond to demands. This can result in the unsuccessful reduction of negative emotions. Okay. You know what, I like that. So I like the maladaptive emotional regulation is cognitive inflexibility. All right, examples of maladaptive emotion regulation include engaging in strategies to regulate emotions, such as rumination and suppression. Rumination, boys and girls, is like a cow chewing cud. It just keeps going and brings it back up and keeps chewing on it. And suppression is the, well, you guessed it, the stopping of the bringing up. This reminds me of All or Nothing. I'm always thinking about it or not thinking about it at all. But I mean, is cognitive inflexibility... I'll write it down here. Cog inflexibility. This rumination and stuff is all or nothing. All or nothing. Because I mean, if you're ruminating it, you're thinking about it all the time, and if you're suppressing it, you're not thinking about it at all. Or don't want to. Contrastingly, adaptive. You know that's the word. Contrastingly. Yes, so. Maladaptive emotion regulation requires the ability to flexibly alternate strategies depending on one's contextual demands and goals. There you go. There you go. It's all about cognitive flexibility. And you know what? You know the sad thing I'm realizing, the older you get, just like your body, if you don't move it, the more inflexible you become. So I think maybe that's the key of life, my friends, is being flexible mentally, physically, creatively, you know? An example of adaptive emotional regulation includes cognitive reappraisal. You see something and you see it from a different angle, cognitive reappraisal. Adaptive emotion regulation strategies are associated with better well-being, interpersonal functioning, and physical health. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? In traditional sport, researchers recognize the importance of adaptive emotion regulation in improving performance and alleviating occurrence of choking. Ooh, foolishly. It's blowing up right now. In sport, choking relates to player underperformance in pressurized situations despite having the necessary skill set and motivation to perform well. I love this. I'm not gonna lie, this is a great fucking... That's a great definition of choking. Despite having the necessary skill set and motivation to perform. Is it Choak or is it Choke? Choking. Choking not only negatively impacts performance, but also reduces executive control. In traditional sport, there's a mixture of evidence regarding gender differences in experience of choking among athletes. Oh yeah? In both this person and this person's studies, researchers found males sucks to be more susceptible to choking due to performance pressure. Males. Wow. You know that? I did not know that. I wonder why. Males. Why do you choke more, males? Why? If you're a male, do you choke more than your female counterparts? Maybe just because maybe females are just under so much pressure all the time. You know, just being a woman. That, what is performance but another Monday? You know, for men though, you know, I don't know. Contrastingly, men found high level of female athletes who underperform in pressurized competitive situation compared to males in segregated but not mixed gender competition. Interesting. I think that's fascinating because if it's males versus females, males choke more. But if it's females on females, females choke more. You know why? My thought, although controversial, could be maybe women are more judgy of other women. Maybe. I don't know. I've never been to an all-girls school, but I can only imagine what that's like. You know? Or an all-guys school, I can only imagine what that's like. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking because females may judge harder and like the female judgment is rougher, I think, maybe. Maybe that's why they choke when compared to females. I don't know. That's just a guess, and that's not trying to sound misogynistic or anything. I'm just trying to imagine. You know, I wonder if that's a subset of guys to guys and like guys, you suck, but like women to women. I don't know. You know. Please don't cancel me. The concept of choking in sport shares similarities with tilt in video gaming. The term tilt originates from... Okay, this is the second... This is the second one that says it's pinball tilt. Okay? That must be it. Okay? This is the second study. Pinball. The term today is commonly employed in poker, video game, and esports. Research in poker suggests that tilt occurs to performance pressure in relation to potential monetary loss. Losses can induce negative emotions such as anger, frustration, or an injustice. The potentially induced tilt. There is a mixed evidence and potentially induced tilt. There is mixed evidence pertaining to role of player experience in reducing experience of tilt. Role of player experience. With researchers highlighting the potential role of player experience in dealing with monetary losses and employment of better emotional regulation strategies. Okay. Despite recognition of tilt in video games, there's a lack of empirical research examining tilt in gaming. We currently do not know how gamers experience tilt. I can tell you. They experience it all the time and it's bad. Study done. Conclusion. Boom. Tilt. Okay, here you go. Ready? Here's all the empirical research you need on tilt. Tilt bad. Not good for gaming. Make game hard. Lose more game tilt. What else research you need? That's it. I can take that shit to the bank. Okay. We currently do not know how gamers experience tilt. Their emotions regulation strategies to deal with tilt. They don't do that. Not at all. I mean, maybe they throw something, but not very good. They think breathing, but breathing doesn't always work because they don't know how to use breathing effectively because they don't practice breathing. They just do it when they're tilted. So actually, if you think about it, breathing could be a precursor to tilt if you don't know how to use it, because when I'm tilted, I do this. Thus, I'm going to associate tilting with breathing versus tilting with mental endurance or breathing with mental performance. I'm going to just associate it with tilt, you know? Thus, placebo. You know, another really interesting thing that I think the body is crazy at is taste aversion. That's crazy. I think it's so wild how your body learned that if you eat this thing and you get sick, that you don't want to eat it again. Thus, that thing tastes like shit to you. It's crazy. All right. Despite recognition of tilt in video games, there's a lack of empirical. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Here, the purpose of this current study is to examine gamers' experience of tilt and emotion regulation. By doing so, we seek to better understand the extent to which gamers experience tilt, identify factors that may reduce or exacerbate tilt, and gain a better understanding about the motion regulation strategies that impact gamers' experience of tilt to inform future interventions. Oop. This is... Oh, I should really put these. Okay. First, given the recognition that motivation can impact choking in traditional sports, we hypothesize that there will be a difference in experience of tilt based on the player's reason for playing. That's a good one. That's a good one. I think so. Second, given that mixed evidence on gender differences in choking under pressure in sport, we hypothesize that there will be a difference in experience of tilt due to gender. Gender diff. Lastly, we examine to explore which factors will be most influential in explaining gamers' experience of tilt. Three-pronged attack. All right. We're going to run through this part because it's boring. All right, let's see. They used questionnaires. Questionnaire. Okay. Okay. They're asked reason for playing. Fun, win, improve. I mean, yeah. Yes. Whiff. What's your whiff? Like that. Win, fun. Win, improve, fun. Biv, or whiff. I like whiff. Whiff works. I'm gonna whiff, baby. Baby. There. Yes, sir. Had to look at something real fast. How you been, Ivan Jeff? Alright. Participants then rated 2 items, which were adapted from the severity of tilting scale. I don't want to see that. Is that a real scale, bro? You're just gonna stare for a little bit. The fuck? Let's do a quick gaggle search. Severity of tilting scale. Shut up! I found it! Wait, I want the scale though. Give me the actual scale. Oh! Oh, you know why? It's in freaking French, bro. It's in French. What the freak? I need this in English, bruh. Is this correct? Okay, this is by Ealomaki. Give me the PDF. Oh! Found it. Oh my god. We're gods right now. We're gods. Wait. Where's the actual? No, we're not gods. Okay, well, there is a scale. Okay, we have to look for the scale. Okay, that's our next assignment, though. We'll finish this. Okay, let's. Okay, I want to look for this. Severity of tilting scale, bro. Maybe I'll give that to my players. Alright, severity of tilting scale, and completed both behavior emotion regulation questionnaire and sport emotion questionnaire. Yes. I'm always interested in finding things that people use. Alright, but how many... Where's my demographics, baby? Okay, yeah. Okay, materials. Okay. They use this one. Okay. So that's that scale. This scale. Where's the people? Okay, well, they have an N of 128 people. Thing. You get tilted in some crazy issue. Good, huh? I wonder if you had to take a guess, chat, would you think that the tilt that people experience in, like, I'm not saying that they don't get tilted, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying is, do you think people's action RPG tilt is as bad as, like, people in League of Legends or, like, Call of Duty, Valorant, you know? That's my question. Or, like, social simulations, would their tilt be as bad as, like, these ones? You know what I mean? Oh, look at this average. Damn. Well, that makes sense. Like, if you're... Damn. I thought this was gonna be higher, yo. Honestly, I thought If you're playing action adventure RPG, like you'd be locked in there, bro. But damn, makes sense to me though. Okay. They use SPSS to do data collection. Blah 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 blah. All right. Let's just go skip down to the discussion, huh? Oh, look at this bitch. What did they do? Figure 1 here. Okay. Oh. Look at this. Look at this. Those. Wait. Okay, this is. I don't care about any of these. This is like whatever. Cool data. This is fascinating. Okay, look. All right, those. I'm looking at figure 1 because this is figure 1. Amazing. Those that played to win had significantly higher tilt score than those who played for fun. Makes sense to me, actually, to be honest. And those that played to improve had significantly higher tilt scores than those who played for fun. I mean, significantly. But look at the distance between play for this and this. You know, holy shit. Okay, I wonder if this is because, like we talked about last time, we talked about tilt and tilt happening on your, like, when you're focused on your team, and then we discussed how tilt was a miss in expectations. I wonder if this is also a similar thing, where if you play to win and you expect to win and you don't win, the tilt are bad, right? But if you play to improve, you're not necessarily emphasizing the win. So even if you don't win, you don't get as tilted because you're more so focused on yourself, right? Bruh, maybe if we even smash these two articles together, dude, maybe it would be here like this. My team. This would be me, and then whatever. Like, I think that's where the tilt will be focused. If I was gonna smash these two studies together, my guess is this would be like my team, other players, and maybe the loss. This is probably just focused on me, and then this one is like, wee, I don't care. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. But that's fascinating. That's good data. It's really, you know, honestly, I feel vindicated reading all these articles because, like, I feel like I knew these things, but I didn't have like a look. See, I told you. But now, look, see, I told you. I told you. I told you. At the end of the day, that's what it's about, right? Being freaking. All right. To address what factors most greatly have influenced one's experience tilt, a multiple regression. I think this is an interesting graph. I don't want to take a picture of this without my tables. I'll use this for a video later on. Okay. I'll do this real fast. So yep. And then I'm gonna do this. That's for later for Hawaiian. What the heck is this box? That's for later. Oh no. Tapes. Take the photo. And I guess I'll take a picture of the sick. Good job. No? So? Alright, the current study aimed to examine. Ooh, what is this? What is figure 2? Where's figure 2? figure 3, figure 2. Here. Okay. The screen plot demonstrates that 5 factors, 7.2 per 72.28 explain the variance of data. Oh! Okay. This is interesting. Social simulation is so high. That's interesting. This makes sense, bro. This makes sense. That's why they get the most tilted, dude. Makes sense to me. Anger. Seeking distraction. Here's the experience. This makes sense, bro. Why these are significant. Okay. All right. Results. The first 2 hypotheses were conducted with determining if there was a difference in tilt based on the reason to play or gender. Data were normally distributed and displayed homogeneity of variance. A 2A ANOVA demonstrated significant. I want discussion. Okay. This current study this current aim to examine gamers' experience of tilt and emotion regulation. When examining the reason for video game play or playing video games, we found that those playing for competitive reasons were the most likely to experience tilt. I mean, yeah. That makes sense to me. Because, I mean, if you're playing for competition, you're playing to win, thus you get tilt the most via this data, right? I mean, that makes sense. I mean, that sets your expectations. That makes sense to me. This study also aimed to determine what factors were influential in gamers' experience of tilt. Seeking distraction, anger, more years experience gaming, and increased hours spent in gaming were identified as important factors in preceding gamers' experience of tilt. Yes. Yes. I mean, this... Because again, think about it from a purpose perspective, right? If I'm seeking distraction, and the distraction I'm getting is not a fun one, of course I'm going to get tilted. If I'm just angry, I guess, of course, I mean, that's a precursor to tilt. Somebody tilted. The more experience I have, the more expectations and things that I know that I can or cannot do in the game, thus tilt. And if I play a lot, I'm probably expecting more out of this experience, but when I don't get it, tilt. Makes sense. Makes absolute sense. It's so interesting in that perspective. You know what I mean? So interessant. Okay. All right. In line with our first hypothesis, we found differences in the gamer's experience of tilt based on reason of play. Those motivated play to win were most likely to experience tilt. But then again, you need tilt. I think that's a hard thing to balance, is like people think that tilt is bad, but at the same time, if you're not tilted, you're probably not playing the best. You know what I mean? You need a perfect amount of tilt and activation to make you play well. If you're not tilted at all, bad. Oh, maybe I have to make another video about that. All right. As highlighted by Bruner et al., competition games can be a source of frustration when a player cannot achieve their goal. Sure. Additionally, this person highlighted that engagement in competitive tasks results in greater cardiovascular reactivity compared to engagement in problem-solving tasks, illustrating the potential role of competition on physiological stressors. I did not know that. Did you know that? I wonder why that is. If you're competing, well, maybe it's not that deep. I mean, if you're competing with someone, I think because we are humans and we are animals, we probably are hardwired to think about competition as a threat to our existence, that we probably would be more elevated to compete than if we're just trying to figure something out for funsies with that, that drive. That's what I'm thinking logically. Okay, researchers found competitive gaming context and players' expertise impacted stress response. The finding, okay, in finding those play to win reporting higher levels of tilt, our study draws parallels with research on choking in traditional sport, whereby it's recognized that being highly motivated to win increases one's susceptibility to choking. Whoa, okay. So too much. Oh my god, is this a stress makes you stupid moment? I think that's what this is. If I'm gonna put it into layman's terms, right? Because, oh, what happened? What happened? Oh, if I turn this off, I don't have this. Word. Hold, please. Dude. Alright. If from that perspective, right? If from this perspective, if you are more motivated to win, and that's all you're thinking about, and that's what distracts you, then you're more likely to choke because that's higher elevated levels of stress. Too much stress makes you stupid, thus you choke. Oh. I never thought from that perspective. I mean, even though I'm like, wow, crazy, and that's so simple, I really never connected the two like that. I knew that high stress makes you choke, but I never thought of it perspective of stress makes you stupid, thus makes you stupidly choke. You know what I mean? That's such an interesting thought. Neuroscientific support for this is offered by that person who demonstrated via function magnetic, MRI, study that the higher the reward for winning, the greater likelihood for choking. That is proved via fMRI, brothers and sisters. They need a giant magnet to see that. Revealed increased activity in reward regions as individuals got closer to winning, exclusive of the ventromedial striatum, dorsolateral striatum, right medial orbitofrontal cortex, and rostral anterior cingulate cortex, and in association between increased midbrain activity and choking, evidence in decrements in performance and increased errors by participants. This kind of reminds me. Have you seen that new clip of like Mango when he's about to win his Smash Major and he starts crying? I bet you he's getting this. But I wonder also if you are too focused on the touchdown per se that you don't focus on the catch, and that's what happens. You know? And then you aren't able to complete it, and then you choke, and then you're upset. You know? That's what I'm thinking might be happening. This person also found difference between high and low reward conditions as distance to reward decreases, with increased activity observable in left ventral midbrain, including strata nigra, right dorsal lateral striatum, and bilateral ventral premotor area in high reward condition compared to low reward condition. A finding which helps consolidate the reasoning that it is the competitive desire to win and potentially level of reward contributing to one's experience of guilt. Dude, you know what's really shit? Basically, what this is telling me, from my perspective, is the higher the reward, the more pressure and the more activity in your brain, that's a more likelihood of you choking. And it's probably because you're focused on the win instead of you're losing sight of the process of winning, you know? Or because you're so focused on winning, you're not doing the correct things or thinking about the correct things that allow you to win. And then when you don't win, you're tilted because you had the motivation, ability, and whatever is conditions to do it. You just couldn't do it. But that's because you're focused on the wrong thing. Yeah. Bro, mindfulness is still so, but it's so aids to sit down and do. But you know, maybe that's the content. Okay, of notable interest is that the game genres include those playing sport games, were the most likely to play for competitive reasons, with 35% of sports players playing to win. It is possible that those playing more competitive games for more competitive reasons could be at an increased susceptibility of experiencing tilt. Okay. Okay. Sure. Contrastingly, action-adventure players were the least likely to play for competitive reasons, with only 6% of action-adventure players playing to win, compared to 83.39% of action-adventure players playing for fun. As action-adventure games are focused upon immersing oneself... That's what I thought! Okay. As it is plausible that the greater focus attributed to the storyline encouraged greater immersion and flow for players, offering a more form of escapism, with researchers recognizing that action-adventure games reduce anxiety and stress. That suggests playing games whereby an individual can switch between avatars with different skill sets, strengths, and vulnerabilities facilitates flexibility in adjusting social and emotional. Okay. Yeah, I like this. This is a really interesting. Position. Increase flexibility to tilt. Okay, my mind's exploding right now because the other thing I'm thinking about from this perspective then would be, for example, you're playing League, right? You're playing jungle. Could you reduce your tilt? Maybe you could. Say you're playing jungle, right? And that's your main role. But then you get so tilted off the face of the earth that you go and play ADC. And because you know that you're a lower level of ADC, that this is just more for fun than it is for winning. It's more for improvement and for learning. If you be less tilted in this role because you expect less, because you get, and you just accept that this is the thing I'm learning versus I have to win this game, So from that perspective, though, what you're doing is you're increasing your cognitive flexibility because your role is different, so you're thinking different, thus your tilt goes down. Or you just accept that I'm going to suck and that's okay, and your tilt goes down. Really? Fuck. When you think about it, really, when you think about tilt and you getting tilted, it's how can you take a different perspective? And when you think about people getting tilted and you think about people just trying to breathe, basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to regulate or down-regulate your physical symptoms of tilt. May it be the heart rate, may it be your thoughts racing, may it be your heart, I said heart rate, may it be the shaking, maybe the, I want to hit something, what you're basically doing is just trying to regain that to baseline to regulate your brain back to baseline. So, with that, maybe it's even stretching to induce flexibility. Maybe it's running to change your perspective or your environment or scenery. But it's also thinking about it from a different way of thinking and being open enough to do so. I think if you could do that, that would greatly reduce your tilt. Also, too. I'm becoming a tilt god right now. I guess the other question for the chat would be, what do you do to help you reduce your tilt? What have you found to be effective? You know? All right. The second hypothesis was that differences in tilt would exist based on gender. There was no significant differences found based in experience of tilt based on gender. Unlucky. Research in traditional sports have examined choking under pressure during free throw performance. Given the similarities between choking we highlighted previously, the findings from Blank or Toma can be seen to corroborate the results in this study and highlights the need for interaction centered upon improving emotion regulation to reduce tilt for all gamers. Okay, so you want to get good at gaming, you gotta learn how to regulate your emotions, or you have to become more aware of your emotions, how they're making you feel, and like what to do with them. But who has time to learn emotional regulations? And or when's the last time you learned emotional regulation, right? Not often, but that's okay. Visit my website. We can work on that, baby. All right, this study also set out to examine which factors would be most influential in gamers' experience of tilt. Seeking distraction, anger, years of gaming, and hours spent gaming were important predictive factors of one's experience of tilt. All right. Boom. Gold. Gold. Seeking distraction was identified as an important emotion regulation strategy to reduce an individual's likelihood of experiencing tilt. An example of using this strategy included taking a break to engage in other enjoyable activities. Work by this person supports the association between emotion regulation strategies and psychosocial responses to tilt, with this person just suggesting seeking distraction to be a positive emotion regulation strategy to reduce stress and negative emotions. Is this how to reduce tilt, or what would be, making tilt? All right, research in traditional sport also corroborates our findings that seeking distraction reduces one's likelihood of experiencing tilt. For example, adaptive motion regulation strategies to alleviate choking and improve golf performance. Balk suggests that the possibility that is the change in attentional focus brought by distraction that benefits performance as attention is removed from the pressure of the event, reducing stress. See, there's another... Okay, there's two schools of thought. Change in attention. Okay, there's two schools of thought, and I'm curious what your school of thought is in performance. So one school of thought is we're not going to talk about how big the match is. We're not going to talk about it. What it means. We're just going to focus on being here together and doing the match. Other people will say, hey, we have to talk about it. And then, if we talk about it, it's like bringing the monster into the room. We can make people feel comfortable around it, and we can learn how to manage it. So there's two, typical strategies. And, I'm just curious, what do you think would be more helpful for you if someone tells you beforehand how hard it's going to be and the obstacles in the way and, our plan to get over them? Or is it like, whee, let's not talk about it at all, and then we'll face it when we face it, A potential examination for why distraction worked to reduce experience of tilt could be explained by the explicit monitoring theory. Have you heard about this theory? Explicit monitoring theory. This theory suggests that pressure raises self-consciousness among individuals, causing anxiety about performance. pressure raises self-consciousness among individuals, causing anxiety about performance. The individual wants to perform well, and so pays attention. The individual wants to perform well, and so pays excessive attention to task execution, which disrupts automated skill execution, causing a usual automated process to become overly controlled. Yes, I like this theory. I'm gonna bust this out my back pocket. I like this theory. This is called explicit monitoring. Like that. That's gonna be a video. It is plausible that for gamers, engagement in distraction is removing excessive attention away from the pressure performance and therefore reducing the experience of guilt. Yeah, attention regulation. Attentional control. Regarding the experience of negative emotions, anger was found to increase likelihood of experiencing tilt. My secret cell is that I'm always angry. MOBA players were found to experience higher anger than those playing action-adventure games in relation to tilt fair. A potential explanation for this could be attributed to toxicity observed in MOBA games, with the finding that out of 300 games they studied, 70% were disrupted by toxic behavior, most of which involved insults or complaining about teammate performance. Yeah. That's so fucking funny. So fucking funny. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Increased hours spent gaming. Also predicted one's likelihood of experiencing tilt, with increased hours associated with an increased risk of experiencing tilt. Polomaki study on poker corroborates this, suggesting that playing more poker increases likelihood of experiencing tilt. Researchers highlight how excessive time spent playing video games can be problematic, finding it to be linked with excessive anxiety and depression. Yup. You know why, too? I bet you this also comes down to cognitive endurance. The more you play, the more tired you get, the more tilted you get, too. Years of experience gaming was a significant predictor in one's experience of tilt, with more years of experience reducing one's likelihood. Oh, my bad. I fucked up. More years of playing reduces one's likelihood of tilt. Because you understand that there's bullshit. That's interesting. Is that what this says? Less, more. What does it say? Experience? Okay. Yeah. So this is less tilt. This is more tilt. Interesting. Yeah, the role of experience moderating stress responses is well documented, with that person noting lower stress responses and better performance in experienced surgeons compared to novice surgeons in stress. Nice. Ah! It is important. An important limitation to note is this is the criterion validity of measure of tilt requires examination. Currently, there's no gold standard measuring tilt in gaming. However, to our knowledge, this is the first study to quantify a gamer's experience of tilt in video games, providing an important starting point in understanding tilt in gaming. Additionally, our sample was drawn from a predominantly European sample. It would be noteworthy to investigate how tilt manifests across different cultures, as research suggests cultural differences in emotional arousal. Fair. As this study is centered upon self-reported data, it would be whatever. Yeah, that is. This is so interesting. Well, it's so funny. Look at this anger, bro. More tilt. Okay. That was shit. I think this is really interesting. From this study, this is good data. Seeking distraction, less tilt because your goal is just to not be where you are and just to like have more fun. Years of gaming, you have more experience. Thus, you're less likely to tilt because you understand the game more. Hours spent playing game, more tilt because, bro, you're probably tired. Take a picture of this. This is good data. And this is also really interesting. This is good data. Oh, nope. All right, friends. Well, thanks for coming by. I have to do a more succinct breakdown of this later, but be sure to catch that video. If you want to learn more about me, please visit my website, psychsensei.com. There, you can get all the resources. I'm going to be trying to write and put more stuff up there now that I have more time to do things because I have, start a new gig. So, please visit my website, psychsensei.com, and please fill out a free consultation, and you and I can sit down and figure out where you want to go. And thanks, Noah Evelyn, for coming on by. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. My goal is to maybe read another article or play some games. But I'll see you then. All right, friends. Well, please be safe. Please be warm. Love you. Mwah. Kisses. And remember, stronger mental wins. Bye.